Yes, this is the same clip you seen last week. Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's greatest show, according to scientists. We did not say that. Scientists did. Thanks everyone for watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify. If anyone would like to help us out by donating, you can click the Acast supporter link in the description of this episode and every episode. You can donate any amount you want, and all the donations will go back into the podcast, into the equipment, and so on and so forth. We want to do loads of things. We have loads of ideas, blah, 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 blah. We really appreciate your support. And yeah, again, the link is in the description. You can donate however amount you want, and all donations are appreciated equally. And yeah, over to the episode. Swoosh.
I was chasing them across the scene, right? And so these stunties had prepared this battle right in front of us. They'd worked on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. They had this all choreographed and all this, right? And so anyway, we're doing the wipes. And this stunty is like, he's like fighting. And he like falls right in my path.
Shit.
And I'm at full tilt at this point. Like I'm going. So I have two choices. Either this stunty is getting a knee to the face, or I'm just jumping, man. And I dived over this man.
No way.
Like proper dive rolled over him, skidded to a stop right in front of his lights and everything. And the whole set just goes.
That's mad.
And all the stunties just look at me and goes, oh man, because like safety risk.
Welcome back to Everything from Nothing, Ireland's most, it's not sensual, what's the word? Sensational. There's a difference between sensual and sensational, isn't there?
No.
Yeah, it's the most sensational. There's not.
Not for you.
No.
It's all the one.
It's all the one.
Same.
Yeah. Thanks for everyone for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. It helps. Always someday raise enough money to feed
puppies.
Owen and puppies. Owen needs a bite to eat.
We'll
so
do
if
the
you
puppies
could,
first, and then Owen.
Owen needs a sandwich, so if you could donate, the link to the donation button is in the description below.
Owen hasn't had a sandwich for weeks now.
Yeah. So
Look at the state of it.
We take money in the letterbox as well.
Oh yeah, this is
or
using
sandwiches in the letterbox.
Yeah.
We do that. Cheese sandwiches, so he doesn't eat meat.
We're joined by Ras today. Ras Hattnin,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. No, Hattnin, isn't it?
Hattnin.
What? Yeah.
Well, so that's actually my
stage name.
My street name.
Yeah, I never.
My name is Ras Hattnin, but growing up in Limerick, you know, there's a lot of street slang, and Limerick City's got its own accent going on all together. So Hattnin, Ras Hattnin. Kind of just stuck.
Oh,
that's mad.
Yeah. What's happening?
That's it, man.
And wait, what? Your second name though isn't like I don't think I've ever met anyone with that name. I never asked that before. Like
Hattnin.
Hattnin,
yeah.
Is it a common name?
One. I think part of my family stems from.
Could you get into the mic?
Yeah, from Wicklow, man. Part of my family stems from Wicklow, yeah.
Okay, all right.
The old fams, Hattins, are from around there, yeah.
Okay.
On the other side of my family, no one knows. It's a mixture.
Hatton, Hatton.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that name somewhere, but I can't remember. It's on a shop or something.
There's a
Oh,
boxer.
yeah, that was it. Yeah,
It's a place close
Ricky.
to where I grew up. Hatton.
Hatton, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it? It's not an Irish name, is it? Or?
I don't think so, but I have an Irish name, and my Irish name is McGillicahan.
Okay. Is that like?
That's completely unrelated. Like I don't know how you get that from Hatton, but
no way. So that's the Irish translation of it.
McGillicahan, yeah.
Whoa! I wonder what that's about.
It's very Lord of the Rings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, if you want to go down that route, my grandmother's family comes from I don't want to sound over the top, but one of the High Kings of Ireland.
Oh, no brilliant!
Macmurra Davide, yeah.
So that's mad.
That's the Myrnas. Yeah, that would be my grandmother.
Comes from where? Sorry,
Macmurra Davide.
So that's Myrna.
The Leinster. Yeah.
Oh,
that's mad.
Yeah.
So your family have been from Wicklow for generations.
Old Irish, yeah.
That's
part of me anyway, yeah.
And did you say the name Myrna? Is it
Myrna? Yeah.
Yeah, cool. There's Myrnas around here. Yeah.
Sure,
that's mad.
That's the same.
And that's they're High Kings of what, Leinster?
Leinster, man.
Yeah.
Oh, hiking.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think?
Hiking.
The
I
hike.
thought you meant like
The hiking.
Well, you went hiking as well.
I did. I've been hiking. I've been on
They were doing
Viking.
hikings around.
So hiking, and Viking. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hiking.
I was born for it.
That's funny. Yeah, well, do you have any? You look like a Viking. You look like you have Viking blood
So I've
in
been
you.
told, man. So I've been told.
Yeah.
I was on Vikings, the TV show, man. I got cast for that, so whatever that means.
That's mad. They obviously
an
thought you
extra.
looked like a Viking.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they called me back like every time, man. They were like, "Will you do this?" Like, yeah, sure.
So were you on? Have you watched it back? Like, are you on it?
No,
Yeah.
I don't watch it, man. I don't
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah,
Did they pay you for it?
yeah, of course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You have to get paid. Actually, I wanted to volunteer for it, but
Why do you have to get paid?
Equity.
insurance
is
and
there.
shit.
Yeah,
there's so much going on, so many variables. There's weapons literally lying around the
With a
place.
show like that and that high production as well, like even isn't it like even what you got like man, I can't even think of the word now. Like, what's the word when you're like when you're in the show but you're not an actor? In like,
Extras.
Extras.
An
Jesus
extra,
Christ. Yeah, they
Background.
even get everyone gets paid, isn't it? Even if you're not even in the show up on the TV, like
It can be tough work as well, man. A lot of people don't really enjoy it because it's
It's a lot of hours, isn't
Waiting
it? Just,
around.
like,
5
standing
a.m.
around.
starts,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're waiting for, and you might even do nothing all day.
yeah.
A lot of people get in there and they have a book with them and they're sitting there for hours to
Yeah.
just read, and then all of a sudden they get a call, go all of a sudden. So it can be stressful for some people.
That's mad.
But I personally love it. Like,
Yeah,
I love
you don't have
it.
to be good at like you'd be like good at talking with people anyway. You kind of want that because there is a lot of waiting around and that shit. Like,
A lot of crack, man. Jesus, man. The
Yeah.
set of Vikings is one of
do
the.
you get free food?
Yeah.
I'd say it's good
Yeah.
food,
Right.
catering.
Is it good? Like, is it decent food?
It
or is
depends. If it's
Sorry.
one of the crew days, if it's like the primarily cast, they'll have a caterer, like the actual.
Wow.
So like just good food, you know. But if it's like a battle scene and there's thousands of extras, well, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of extras. If there's hundreds of extras, they'll just have like, you know, bog standard rice and like stuff like that, just normal food. But
Yeah.
if you're lucky to be with like the main cast on like an indoor shoot, like in the studio itself, you
Yeah.
get really good food and it's so
I always
good.
think that's mad. Like when you get food on the job.
Yeah.
I think that's fucking
Festivals
great.
are all
That's
about
like
that
one
as
of
well.
my aims is to get a job where they give you food.
The setup and structure for working at festivals and events is very similar to
It is,
movie
yeah.
sets and stuff like that. Like, it's really similar in terms of the catering and all that. Were you doing anything with the main cast or in any of those parts?
Yeah, man. Jeez, I was working with The Edge, man. You know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Triple H, man. Oh, is it H or Triple H? I always get confused between
don't
two
know.
long-haired men. Yeah, one of those wrestlers, man. He's shit a long nose.
When
He's one of the main cast.
you said The Edge, I was thinking you too, but
No, but this edge is bigger than that edge.
Yeah, no, not The Edge, not that Edge. Yeah, the other Edge.
Yeah, but the other edge
I
is
think
way
it's-
bigger. He's like,
No, I think it's Triple H, man. I think it's Triple H, man. Yeah.
that's mad.
Man, I was slagging him one day, get this coffee, man. I went up to the coffee thing, you know, just to like, get a coffee, and The Edge strolls over with like his pre-packaged Zero's coffee. He's like, oh, very fancy for the outdoors. He didn't take kindly to it.
That's very funny. And what was it? That's mad. So were you in any of the main close-up scenes, right?
Yeah, a few, man, a few.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
mad.
some of my favorite scenes, to be honest, but some of my favorite scenes were the battle scenes, to be honest, because that's when I could really let loose, man.
So are you seen on the actual show fighting? And
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
didn't
I'm
know
like
that.
tearing around the place with an axe.
So you proper works. I
killing
seen you
Saxon
were.
bastards.
Cool.
That's mad.
Yeah, it was so good, man, and it was really
So
good.
you got to murder people as well as
I got
like
to murder them,
stuff.
kill them, kick them in the face.
Great.
there was one time that this was like so mad. So we were told to do wipes. So a wipe is when you like run across the screen. You know, you add like a dynamic shot to
Yeah.
whatever's going on. And so I was chasing my friend, who actually happened to be my friend, who he was chosen as well. I was chasing him across the scene, right? And so these stunties had prepared this battle right in front of us. They'd worked on this for weeks and weeks and weeks. They had this all choreographed and all this, right? And so anyway, we're doing the wipes, and this stunty is like, he's like fighting, and he like falls right in my path.
Shit.
And I'm at full tilt at this point, like I'm going. So I have two choices: either this stunty is getting a knee to the face, or I'm just jumping, man. And I dived over this man.
No
like,
way.
Like proper dive rolled over him, skidded to a stop right in front of his lights and everything, and the whole set just goes.
That's mad.
all the stunties just look at me and goes, oh man, it's like safety risk 101. What the fuck just happened? It was gas.
But you must be so into it though. It's hard to think like, because if you're supposed to be acting the part, you're supposed to not be thinking. Hard to like think, oh, what better follow the rules and regulations of being a Viking. You know, it's a bit like, it's a bit hard to do that. Like,
it does add to it, man. Like, there's a lot going on, and long days as well. You get tired, man. Like, that's when the strength and conditioning and just practice comes into it, man. Because on that day in particular, man, I fell because I was tired. You know.
Yeah.
Because there was so much going on, and luckily I rolled. I had the sense to like. Phew, like, you know,
that's mad, man. I knew you were involved heavily in it. I didn't know it was that much. That's
no,
mad,
lads, I'm not.
No, I know,
I'm
but
not
still,
cast. I'm not cast yet.
No, I know, yeah.
But man, that was one of my main inspirations because when I was working with all these stunties, man, like a lot of the stunties, like where I want to be, some of them were bored, you know.
Yeah.
Some of them were just there because it's the work for them and they're qualified and whatever.
And they'll go on to the next TV show in a few weeks.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
I was buzzing, man. Like I was like, I'm ready for this. Like I want to be here.
That was where you like, because now you're doing work in that night training and stuff in that.
Yeah.
And that was your kind of inspiration.
Yeah, one of the big ones. Like that's when I was like, right, this is actually what I want to do.
So you'd like that as a full-time career, stunt work.
So how do you go about that? Like, is that are you at Stunt School?
Yeah, Stunt School, yeah.
There is stunt schools. There is. And it's very cliquey. So a lot of people like they'll create their little groups and they'll work in them and they'll get jobs based off around, you know, who they know and whatever.
Yeah.
Classic. But really what it all boils down to is your effectiveness and what you can do. So there's 5 main things that you need to work on. There's 5 tests that you need to pass if you want to be a stuntie. And so there's combat, which is number 1. You need to know your way around a fight.
In terms of fist and sword, or like what in the like all of it,
whatever it is, it's kind of loose. They do want belts. They require a brown belt.
Oh wow!
So you need a brown belt in any chosen.
Okay, right.
Or there is exceptions if you're like an Olympic athlete or like you're a really.
So they'll kind of look at you need some sort of
Yeah, for sure. Like they're diligent, like, and they want good people, but they also want people. The reason behind the belt is also because in order to even get a belt, you need to be training constantly, like multiple times a week. It's the lifestyle that they want, you know. They want those people that are
dedicated and stuff.
They want to do this
because there is a level of fitness to that work. Seriously. And like you know, like mind impact control and stress control and things.
It's
kind of like one of those. There's a few sports like rock climbing and stuff. It sounds like one of those things where you use muscles that you're never going to use in the gym, like, you know, or you can never train unless you're doing that specific thing. Like, you know, you have your stuff like your swimming, rock climbing. There's those kind of ones. I don't know what you call them, but
that's a really good reason of the why they have those tests, the 5 tests.
Okay, yeah.
Because the 5 things that you need to pass, if you pass them, it means that that all those muscles are happenstance.
Wow.
So what are the 5 again you have?
So there's combat, which is number 1. There's 2, which is driving. Okay. Driving, motorbikes. There's driving motorbikes or horse riding, which is what I have already.
No way.
Which I was lucky. So
wait, did you get to do horse riding on Vikings?
No, I didn't.
But you were just
they ask, and sometimes you do. Wow. You do get to do that. Yeah.
But you can do that now, though. Like
I can ride a horse. Yeah.
Wow, that's.
So you had that before
lucky.
You went to.
Yeah, I was raised with horses. I was really lucky.
I grew up working with horses. Yeah, I rode horses for years and worked with horses and worked in Australia with horses. And
nice.
That. Yeah.
What kind of horse riding?
Just like I started off shit shoveling at the stables because we was poor, so we didn't have our own things and that. But like just anything, like all the rich people that wanted their horses exercising, you get paid to do that as well. Nice. So things like jumping, cross country, eventing, dressage, and then in Australia I worked with racehorses.
Nice racehorses, yeah.
Yeah.
Racehorses where it gets tricky, right? That's where
they're very temperamental. I mean, we only rode them like up and down to the track and stuff. Like I wouldn't have
There's
wanted
lots of money
to do it
involved
like on
in
the
them.
fucking
so much money, and
that's
where the
they could blame you, like in horse races. They go, "Oh, it was that girl who is."
I know.
Like
it's mad.
But they're tricky enough. Like I mean, it's a totally different thing to all the other stuff that I'd done. But like, you know, you did it for years. Like
show jumping and dressage.
Dressage is lovely.
There's a connection with the horse. You know?
Dressage is really your mind just goes like in the zone. So it's where the horses look like they're dancing and there's like and it's where you wear like the cross jacket and shit and
fine movement.
Yeah, that's right.
That's mad.
It's really delicate. Like so delicate.
It looks so elegant.
Like it's
like you're directing this horse without your hands at certain times.
Yeah.
That's mad.
You're asking the horse to change its gait with like where you're sitting on it. Like,
That's mad.
not with your hands at all. Like
there should be no
fair play to
visible
the horses.
movement of what
Yeah.
you're doing. So even you're squeezing the rein, so all you're doing is changing the tension in the rein. It's not like an obvious movement.
Yeah, yeah.
And the same thing with how you use your legs and stuff. Like
That's mad.
I really like that.
It is cool.
It's like
didn't-
so
It's special.
peaceful and yeah.
It is. It's beautiful too.
Yeah.
When
Why-
people go,
How did you grow? I didn't know you grew up.
so
with
my
horses.
mom is equestrian woman of the year, I'd say.
No way.
Yeah,
That's so random.
that's
I
why I
didn't know
actually
that.
moved to Limerick, is because my mom, when I was 9 years old, we moved from Wexford to Limerick
Yeah.
to UL,
Yeah.
where she studied equine science.
Wow.
Wow.
So I grew up like on
That's
on
mad.
campus in college campus. Yeah.
That's nice.
And so she was studying horses for like 5 or 6 years, and now she's over in the States. She has like this big barn. She's like, yeah,
Whoa, whereabouts is she over
living her
there?
life, South Carolina,
That's amazing.
Wow.
down there in the
And what kind of barn is it there?
That's
Like
class.
It's a big one. Like she just built it, and she's so proud of it. Like it's big. She's got like a row of like 12.
So cool.
and
well,
what does she do with the
stables.
horses? Like do people rent them out and shit?
All sorts. Like she honestly does everything. I think one of her main things was therapeutic uses.
Oh,
So
I worked
That's
with riding
cool.
for the disabled when I was in medical
Yes,
school.
yeah, exactly. So like people with autism, especially, they get
Yeah.
a lot out of an interaction with a
And
horse.
cerebral palsy is
Yeah.
really good because it helps loosen up muscles and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Class.
And like a horse doesn't judge you. Like,
Yeah.
well, it does, but it's very like, it's very precise in its judgments. Like it
Yeah.
knows if you're
you're
a
a dick.
threat,
Yeah.
if you're like dangerous, it just knows.
I had the first, so you could get these ponies on loan. So after I'd worked there about 6 months, like I had this pony, and it was the one that nobody wanted because he was such a little shit, really.
Yeah.
And he was this little fat chestnut thing. And he didn't like anybody except me. And he just chose for some special reason that I was going to be his friend. And I would literally stand at the top of the field. He'd be like 3 fields down, and I would yell his name. I'd go, Sam! And his head would come up like this. And he'd just start trooping up the field towards me. Like I never had to go down and get him.
That's
He'd
mad.
just come up the field to me.
Nice.
That's
Like-
cool. That's really cool.
He was like my buddy.
That's
yeah.
rare as well, because horses, like, they're as you say, prey animals.
Yeah.
Their eyes are on the side of their head.
Yeah.
Like they're looking for like what's going on. Their peripheral vision. So
Yeah.
that connection.
They have a lot of
Yeah, it
barriers.
was lovely.
like,
He
they're
used to
hard
let me, like, in the summer, he'd lie down on the field in the grass, and I'd get there about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd just go and lie next to him with my head, like, right next to his, and he'd just be looking at me like, yeah, hi.
Hi,
It was
That's
really
mad.
sweet.
little dogs. They're like, oh, hi, how are you?
Yeah. It was lovely. It was very cool. So maybe your mum would give me a summer job one of the years.
Yeah, for sure. We'll set that up.
Yeah. You're
We'd
doing
like
your,
that.
you're looking
Well,
for
that's
your
what she's
My
doing.
work
TY, your
experience.
TY work
Yeah.
experience.
TY.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is
So
nice.
yeah, your horse ride, like the horse riding is one of the 5.
Things.
That's the one I'm gonna choose. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can choose, and I want to do the driving as well, because
Driving, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I tell you to do all 5, but you just pick.
yeah. So you can. So there's a category. So each
Yeah.
of the tests is a category. So there's like A, B, and C. So A would be combat. You get to choose your particular vein of combat. You get to choose the B, which is now the categories that could be mixing up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
irrelevant. But so B would be driving. So like the transport. So like the stunt driving or
Yeah.
motorbikes or the horse riding.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what are the other 3 then?
There are 2.
So
Yeah.
the 2 would be the strength and conditioning. So
Okay.
number 3 would be it'd be strength, so like gymnastics.
Yeah.
So you can choose between gymnastics and something else. I can't remember what the other one was because I chose gymnastics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
they give you a move list. So there's like 100 moves, like movements that you need to learn. But they're grand because like the hardest one, like if you can do the hardest one, the other
Oh, no.
70 are they're grand. Like,
What was
Yeah.
the hardest one? Flip.
like honestly, the toughest one would have been for me would have been the rings and the gymnastic rings.
That's pure strength, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like shoulder strength,
Yeah,
upper
yeah.
body
It's-
strength,
it-
and
like,
core.
If you can do that,
And did you do it?
Yeah.
no, I haven't got it yet, man. It's
What, you have to flip around on the rings, is it?
no. So you have to do what's the word for it? It's
Flip,
it's just
flip.
it's a pull up.
Pull up,
It's a
and
pull
then-
up that you raise into and then you go
Oh, I know
over,
what you mean.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you lift your legs up as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
In an elegant way, like. Yeah, yeah.
And you need to do an L sit and hold it for like 30 seconds or something.
Shit.
Yeah, it's grand. It's honestly it's not so fine. I mean, it's not so bad once you can do like you segment it so you do work in the pull ups
Yeah.
first, and you
Yeah.
work in the core strength and it's grand. It's actually not too grand.
Yeah.
It's grand for me because obviously I come from that background,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
performance
Yeah.
side. So yeah,
And you'd be flexible old movement. You'd be into the old movement anyway.
I do.
And how is it structured? Like, do you have like a syllabus or a time frame, or like how does it work like that?
It depends. So like at the moment, I'm literally like one track focused on my jiu-jitsu and my Muay Thai, because that I need to fast track that. You know, just for me personally, I need to get that done first of all.
Yeah.
And because like there is allowances, like once like you can get there like if you have a lesser belt, but you know you need to fast track. So I'm focusing on the combat first of all. But there is stunt schools, and there is like people, there's groups that they train, and so I think all of that's kicking off again.
Yeah.
They're starting back.
So you're just doing it under your own steam, like you have the criteria and you're just working through it on your own.
More or less, for the time being, like I'm just brushing up on my basic skills.
Yeah.
So that, you know, I can have the more serious conversations when the time comes with the right people, you know.
Yeah.
It's very funny, man. I thought like when I seen that you were doing like jiu-jitsu, you were doing, I don't know, I seen it was some sort of combat martial arts sports training. I was like, man, I just never in a million years. I was like, Jesus, I haven't seen Ross in a while. Like he's wanting to fight lads now. I never thought Ross would be wanting. I couldn't imagine you. I know you'd be really good at it, even if you are getting into the ring. But I just didn't. I wouldn't have guessed that would have been your motive. So now that I know that is the reason.
See, that's the thing. Like, that's what it comes down to. Like, there is that like that internal battle of you know, you're learning to hurt people. You know,
it's mad.
Like, but like that's obviously not why I'm learning it. But like it comes like sometimes there's some days like, oh my god, I'm gonna go punching lads today
because I can now.
You do. You get that like, oh man, like you know, you know,
of course,
you just do like,
man, especially when you've learned how to do it, then you're gonna definitely now I'm going to do it.
But then there's the whole other side of it that is so peaceful and calming as a consequence of like say the confidence that you get from training, from that, like like they say that people who are trained like, you know, in these kinds of ways, that they're actually more peaceful. In general,
like it
not
brings
always,
you into your body
always.
though, like it like merges your chakras and things like that. Like it connects everything, so you are just like more aligned and
but I also
with
think
yourself.
a part of that is it takes away the insecurity. Like, you know, when like if you walk downtown and there's a lad shouting shit at you, you know he's probably not the lad that's actually going to do it. And if you did get into fight, because when you're secure in yourself, so like I think the better you are at fighting, like Floyd Mayweather is probably not ignoring everything anyone's saying, because he knows if something went down he could, so you don't have to pretend with your mouth or your energy.
You don't have to posture.
You just know that you have that sort of sense of peace and comfort in yourself, knowing that you're safe because of your abilities. And I'd say that's a big part of that
big
piece
thing.
as well.
It's a big thing for
safe.
life, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really nice. Like it is, honestly. And even like in the months since I've been training so much, you walk downtown, you're like, you know, you're confident, you're happy, your body is toned. Like if you want to train, you get into nutrition as a consequence, just to make sure you're doing everything that you can do. So you're eating really well and it's good. But then there's the other side of it, like in Muay Thai, like you're getting like boxes to the head. Yeah, that's not good for you.
No,
there's no. That's definitely not good for you. Like, so you have to. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of avoiding Muay Thai competition. You know. Yeah. That's something, because like, you know, Joe Rogan. He's obviously, you know, the man himself.
Friend of mine.
Yeah, he's
man himself.
Second best podcast after this one.
Yeah, second best. Yeah.
He's getting there though. He's doing well. He's doing
a lot
well.
of our stuff.
He's getting there. I'd
copied
say
our mics.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he got the mic. He'll get there in the end. He's a good kid. But yeah, anyway.
What was I going to say about
the Muay Thai?
He's a whole rabbit hole in
well, yeah. Let's not talk about him. Let's not talk about him. Yeah, no, but you're saying about Muay Thai and something connected to it.
Oh yeah, so you're going into competitions, combat camp.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do the Muay Thai competitions.
Okay.
I'm going to do the jiu-jitsu.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to compete in jiu-jitsu because that's a totally different ball game. Yeah, jiu-jitsu is a really cool art. If I could ever, like, you know, give a big thumbs up for something in particular, I would say jiu-jitsu.
What's the history of jiu-jitsu? Like,
so it began as a Japanese martial art, and it was perfected by the Brazilians.
Okay. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it was perfected by the Brazilians.
I
don't know the history, and I don't want to go there because I don't know. But like, you know, Brazil can be rough, you know, like, and if you see things like, you know, like just the way you can disarm an opponent, you can roll underneath them, just take their legs, their balances. Like if you come up against someone who doesn't know how to grapple or doesn't know how to position themselves in a you know, in a, what's the word?
Kind of stable kind of
in a good stance, like in a there's a better word for it, but like in a good position, like there's nothing that person can do. Like you can just put them to sleep peacefully, and be on your way. Just go. You know, there's no need to.
How do you put someone to sleep peacefully?
Multiple ways. Like there's so many ways.
That's
what jiu-jitsu is.
Tranquilizer gun.
Tranquilizer.
In jiu-jitsu, it's all a point-based system, so you can. The points are based off a position that would be. Like good for a striking position. So like there's a way to score 2 points where you put your knee on their belly and your foot on the ground. So it's called knee on belly, and that means that you're in a good striking position. So you don't strike in jiu-jitsu, obviously, but that's 2 pounds.
It's a good name for it.
Knee on belly.
You were like, and it's called. I was expecting like this beautiful mountain-esque picturesque.
If the Brazilian lads were here, they'd have a way better word.
Knee on belly.
Knee on belly.
That's the Irish version of it.
The English version.
I don't know. Kmart Bullock or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's mad though. It's interesting as well. Like, because it is true. Like if you learn boxing, like of course, like a guy who's boxing, like if he hits you. But it seems to be anyway, and I could be wrong, like, is that, like, boxing is very much a technical, like, this, but, like, if you could have any skill in street skills, like, if you're talking about being in this, in the favelas in Brazil and you're trying to look after yourself, you probably want to know more than just boxing. Because when shit goes down, like, it's not like there's a ref there and they say, okay, let's go. We're going to box fairly now and we're going to count.
Queensbury rules, my good man. No, there's none of that, man.
No, so you need to move and be able to do it. So that's why I really like sort of, it's become much bigger than boxing now, mixed martial arts and stuff. Make people a lot more safer. I don't know, because
it can, and it can also make people a lot more dangerous too.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it can, because if you get a hothead that just comes in and now they're all confident, now they're trained, they go looking for trouble. I know jiu-jitsu.
True. Yeah.
And it happens. Like there's lads that I know that like they were so much more eager to take an adversarial situation because I'm a trained individual.
That's true.
I'm lethal.
It's like it's way harder to fight back as well. Like unless you're equally trained, like you can't really fight back fairly against that. Like
run, pal. Go.
Like boxing, you can try and throw punches or whatever, but like that is.
If a lad starts like playing Twister around you, like,
what are you gonna do? There's not much you can do. And it's over so quick as well. Like my preferred, like what I do, like my strategy. Competitors, please don't listen.
We'll block all your future competitors.
My favorite thing to do in jiu-jitsu is to take the back, because I'll roll around in different ways, like where people don't see it coming, so I can get behind you and just have a dominant position in the back, so I can just like either wrap my arms around you, get like a rear naked choke, or use your collar against you and stuff like that.
I like that rear neck choke.
Rear naked choke.
Yeah. Rear naked choke.
Rear naked.
Oh, naked choke, is it?
That's when you just use your naked arm.
Oh yeah. All right. So you're not getting naked. I'm gonna take off my clothes and I'm gonna choke you from behind.
In a rear capacity.
Picture time.
Yeah, that's really interesting. No, so that's your motive anyway, is to more so to be able to apply that, to your future career in.
Well, if you look at Hollywood these days and where like hand-to-hand combat's going, it's going into the more technical things. Jackie Chan was cool back in the day, and he was doing all sorts of like stunt comedy, and and he was really good. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
he's a classic, man. He's so good. And then there's like the Bruce Lee, who's in the same era, but he was like
just
straight up combat. Less of the.
It's less animated and comedic nearly. Even though it's Jackie Chan, I know what you mean. It's a good way of putting it. Like,
he's really good. Like
stunt comedy is like.
Yeah,
we'd really shit TV when I was a kid. Like it was all this monkey and all this shit. Do you remember that?
Monkey and Pigsy.
No, it was more
oh my god! It was some Chinese thing that was like dubbed in English.
Yeah,
and it was like there was 4 characters. So there was Monkey, he was the main man, and then there was another character called Pigsy, and then there was some princess and another one or two, wasn't there? And some little boy. I remember.
There was a bit of fighting in it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all like they all had the sticks that they twizzle around and like the, and he'd go monkey magic.
Was that anything to do with like the legend of the monkey or something?
Probably, I don't know.
Probably,
understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
It was just like the fight scene.
It was really badly dubbed as well. Like, and it
Sometimes
didn't.
that makes it though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just like ridiculous, like, oh, meet me at the Shaolin Temple.
Yeah.
It's good,
That
like.
was-
That was pretty much it, wasn't it?
Yeah, monkey.
It was like on BBC or something. We'd only see it in our cousins because it was like it was a big thing for us because we'd only one channel or something
It
on a
was
shit
like-
TV and we'd go on holidays to our cousins.
It
and they
wasn't
had
that. It
monkeys.
wasn't good. It was just because there was
Yeah.
fuck all else on.
What? Yeah, it was shit.
Really?
Yeah. You'd watch that at that stage, wouldn't you? Right?
Yeah, you RTE boys, the den.
Yeah,
That's what you do. Whatever's on, whatever's going, you're glued to it. Yeah.
So, like, what's your aim with the stunt stuff?
Just freedom, more
Okay.
or less. Like, I don't necessarily want to be a stuntman, you know. I just want to be a happy human in this world. And like, if I can work for 3 months, earn enough money to go gallivanting for a year, that's all I want.
Hey, where did you want to go gallivanting? Or where did you go gallivanting?
All across the world.
Holy Cross.
Oh, Holy Cross, man. I'll start there. I start in Holy
Let's
Cross.
go gallivanting to Holy Cross.
No way. There's
Yeah.
good galvanize out there to
Loads of it.
gallivanate around.
Gallivanting, yeah. Nice.
You've gone off already, have you, gallivanting? You have.
I've done a bit of gallivanting, yeah. I've done a little bit,
Where'd
man.
you go?
One of my more recent pursuits was I went over to La Palma.
To where?
La Palma in Mallorca.
Oh, lovely.
I went over there.
Palermo. Is that-
La Palma is the
Okay.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I wanted to go over to perform, you know, because there's loads of nightclubs. It's very
Oh, class.
nightclub like heavy
yeah.
place. But I got there though, and my illusions were quickly shattered.
Why? What was the...
Cause man, it's like there's a lot of gangs, you know.
Okay.
There's a lot of. It's a
Where
very
is this? Sorry.
La Palma in Mallorca.
Yeah, right.
Mallorca.
It's a beautiful place. Not gonna lie, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's just very gang orientated. There's dealers around every corner. There's people, you know. That, like, no. And I don't mean to speak bad about the place because it is beautiful. Like it is really nice, and it is safe 99% of the time, as anywhere is. You know. There's always that those one or two people, but yeah, there's some of the stories. I won't get into it, but some of the heads that I was around, like you're just like whoa. Like, you know, heavy alcohol, like a lot of alcohol, just like loose behavior, just you know, just mental, like, you know, and you know, it was cool, and I probably could have made some money, you know, but at the end of the day, what good is money when like life is just...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
I was meant to go there for like a year, but I was there for like 6 days.
Oh, wow. Get out of here.
I was done, man.
Yeah.
I was done, yeah.
Wow.
Hey, what's that going?
I was just gonna say with the like. So would you go and work overseas with the stunt stuff? Like,
Absolutely.
that's one of the reasons why you're doing it?
Well,
is
yeah,
to-
like a few years ago, I was in contact with you know, the production, you know, the new Lord of the Rings TV show.
Yeah.
I was talking to the company doing that, the production, the guys over there, and they said to me they can't offer me a spot because, you know, that's just not how it works. You know, you need to be there, you need to be available. But they said if you do find yourself in New Zealand, please come and see us because.
Oh yeah.
But thankfully, that production is coming to the UK. I heard.
No way.
What was it?
So that's coming a lot closer.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
mad.
Yeah.
That's the most expensive TV show that was ever made.
Wait, what? The Lord of the Rings
1
one?
billion.
Wait,
Wow.
what?
1 billion budget. 1.2
I haven't
billion
seen it. Is it
budget.
good?
No, it's not out yet, man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say,
Like,
no, it's not good. I was like, don't say that. They'll give you a job.
Yeah.
No, it's not out yet. Okay, right. Wow.
It's not out yet, man. And it's one of those things, you know, when like the
Wow.
fans, you know, when the fans come up against like a franchise that they love, like
Yeah, it's like Star Wars doing a TV show or something. They're the
Yeah.
only two things in the world that
it can either be really good or it can be really
Yeah.
bad. Well, maybe it might be okay, you know. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll be really good because like I'm a die-hard Lord of the Rings fan.
Yeah.
Die-hard, man. I love
I
it.
saw one of them. One of the...
I walked out of the cinema.
I love it.
I was so bored.
It's so ridiculous
It
to
was
like
like-
Star Wars and not like that. Like Star Wars is ridiculous.
I like Star Wars.
I love
No,
I love
I hate
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars. I don't mind Star Wars. I might have a problem. I think Star Wars is okay, but when you don't like Lord of the Rings but you like Star Wars, I have a problem with that. I think it's
My dad
weird.
went to school with
But
R2D2.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, that's mad.
Lord of the Rings is one of the most like all-encompassing works of literature, like
Yeah, it's crazy.
of Western
like,
culture. Like
Quite nice.
it's like all of our
But
folklore.
I think that the books are very different from the movie. Like
Very.
I don't think it translated as well, anything like as well to me.
Did you read the books? Yeah.
I had to read a couple of. I read The Hobbit when I was about 7 or 8 in school, and then
way.
there was one of the one of the other ones that we had to read, and I think it was final year of primary school.
Yeah.
That's mad.
And I like
They're big books to read in primary
I
school.
remember thinking that these were good.
Chalky, like. They're no joke, yeah.
But I remember quite enjoying them.
They're really good.
And then when the movie came out, I didn't get to see the first one because I was somewhere else where it wasn't out, so I kind of missed it. And then the second one came out when I was in the UK, but Jesus Christ, I was so bored. I felt like clawing out of my skin. It was like, yeah.
That's mad. It's not that.
I love the movies. Like there was a stage in my life when I was younger. I was watching all three every once a month.
Yeah, same. Me and
like-
Owen watched. Fuck, my
I
father
remember
watched
watching it
it.
and going
They're
about
so
getting
good.
The Ring from A to B. That was the movie, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, come on, lads, speed it up a little.
Yeah,
That's what I was like. I was like, it's a lot of trees. It's a lot of
And I was thinking,
televised
like,
trees.
surely the boys aren't good at getting the ring from A to B. These boys are not good at this.
Yeah.
Surely someone else, like get Eric Kilroy or someone to do it for you if you're not good at
Eric Kilroy.
courier service.
Yeah, all right.
Eric Senior. I would have got him to do it. How are you, Paul? Just
Yeah.
business. And thanks for your donation, actually, as well.
Yeah, Paul Kilroy
It was an
donated.
anonymous donation.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His name's Paul Kilroy. He
Paul
donated
Kilroy. Thanks, Paul
anonymously.
Kilroy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks
Yeah.
for making
Yeah.
it
He,
happen.
he went out of his way to hide his name,
Yeah.
but his name's Paul.
But I
So
think,
we're not
like-
going to mention on the podcast.
Yeah, he's lovely.
Because they're doing that TV series, like they've had enough feedback from the movies. Do you know, like there's enough. Like it'd be very hard to get that wrong now, surely,
Be
because there
surprised.
is a kind
Oh
of
no,
vibe
it's
with it.
way easier
You
to
would
get it
be
wrong
surprised,
because
my
you have
friend.
this level of like fans who treat it like it's like changing the Bible. You better like, do you know what I mean? Do you
I
imagine
suppose
how
it's like the
Christianity would
Star
react if you
Wars
changed?
when like episode 4,
way, but-
Exactly.
like that Jar Jar Binks.
Man, I can't imagine the stress in
Me,
the team
Jar Jar
for
Binks.
either Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. I'd imagine the stress in that team every time a new thing goes out. Like they must, because it could ruin the whole franchise forever. Like
The prequel things of
mad.
Star Wars shit, I didn't like so much.
yeah, the newer things, is it?
The sequels,
Yeah, like the
the
ones.
new ones, the new Disney ones.
Yeah.
Nobody really liked them, man.
The ones with Ewan
a prime
McGregor
example of
in,
what can go
and
wrong.
yeah, they weren't as good. But the original 3, I mean,
I had the most expensive sleep in my life when they remastered the original ones. We were up. They were really expensive tickets, and we were up finishing 24-hour drawn, trying to
Yeah.
get everyone in for the end of the year. And like fucking man, I just slept all the way through the whole thing. Every time, during the trailers, they kept waking me up saying you're falling asleep. I said, I'll just forget about it. Leave me alone.
That's
I was just
mad.
so tired. I slept through the whole thing.
The original trilogy.
Yeah. No,
The ori-
like,
when they redigitized
they
it.
redigitized it.
Yeah.
I really wanted to see it, but I was just too tired to stay awake.
That's
Oh,
mad.
I hadn't
yeah.
been to bed in 3 days.
No.
How much did it cost you?
That
Seb?
might help.
Quid or something like
Okay.
that for sleep.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
It's not the worst. Not the worst.
No.
That's mad. Hey, when you were younger, did you ever have like what was your dream job when you were younger? Like, what did you ever?
It's actually funny. Like I remember being asked that question in primary school. Like
Yeah.
I said a Daredevil.
No way.
That was my.
Yeah.
That's
That
funny.
was my third class.
Actually,
my
that's
third
cool.
class answer.
We-
I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it.
Man, that's what we used to call stunt guys. Actually, was Daredevils.
Daredevils,
Yeah, I used to
yeah.
say that. I think not say that, but we used to call him Daredevils. Like that's mad.
I
That's
wanted to
cool.
be a stunt man when I was a kid.
Do you remember Evil Knievel?
Yeah.
Cold
Yeah.
Seavers.
I don't remember him. Was he? He was.
Seavers.
Is that the guy we met in Centra yesterday or
Yeah.
something? Yeah. Was that him?
Yeah.
I never seen his work written, but
Evil Knievel.
Yeah.
He's the lad that used to jump like 50 double-decker buses
young.
and shit
oh
like
right,
that.
it's not him
on the
This lad-
motorbike.
This lad couldn't do that.
I used to try and pretend I was doing that on my tricycle. I had a tricycle. It was the
That's
1970s, so it had like the hard tires. It wasn't even bouncy tires. And I
That's
would think
mad.
that I was going to jump these buses on my
Did you do that as a
Tricycle.
kid with the BMX, go over a ramp and shit like that?
bunny
Did I
hops.
slapped, man.
Did you? Yeah.
Mad.
I used to live in UL and there was this like cycling track and
Yeah.
they built this like the car parks with those dirt like
Yeah.
barriers. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna do this, man. I'm gonna boom. It was beautiful. It was glorious.
But you had the right intention.
I had
You
the right
good
I had the right
attitude.
mindset. I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believed in myself.
And like you were doing other stuff because like when you first came in here today, you said about doing the firework and things like that. Like
He's a
what?
fire
that's,
guy.
That's pretty mad as well.
Cool.
Do you want to talk a bit more about that?
flow arts? Yeah.
What's it called?
The flow arts.
The flow arts.
hmm I got into it. It's actually a funny story. Like it was very indirect in how I got into it. So when I first met you, Kieran, I was working in sales. So I would go door to door, knocking doors, boys.
Yeah, I remember I asked Ross, I was like, what do you do? He goes,
Knocking doors.
He's like, no, you said knocking doors and give him power or something like that. Give him
Knocking
power.
doors, shifting doors.
You'd always say give him power to the people.
Give him
And I was
power
like,
to the people.
What
yeah.
the fuck does that mean? And you were like, oh yeah, like electricity or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But yeah,
Either
knocking
that
doors, knocking
or
doors.
selling speed
That
door
must
to
be
door.
Yeah.
cool. So you'd have some experiences meeting weirdos
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah, no, man, I actually loved it, man. I actually did. Like, in all fairness, like, there were
I
some
love
days.
humans. I love the public and see what
Yeah,
they do.
yeah. There were some days people were like, man, like the guys I was working with, because I'll entertain anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just talk to them.
But then your hair was you even had more dreads and stuff at the time, wasn't it? Even more.
Less, I
Oh, was it? All right.
Some of these now are more natural.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But you had like longer, you still had long hairs, that I'm saying, where you'd like go in and, which I thought was interesting, because normally when you get a guy at the door, it's just like some guy with short, black hair or whatever, like, did that ever like, that would make me want to talk to you. Do you know what I mean? If
See, the thing about sales is that like those guys are gonna get their customers, you know.
Yeah,
And then
that's true.
myself, I'm gonna find my customers, you know. I'm gonna
Yeah.
like everyone vibes with a particular person,
course,
you know.
yeah.
Like you're just gonna get along with.
That to
Yeah.
me is my worst possible job ever that I could
Really,
think to
it
do.
can
with
be. It can be hell and it can be heaven at the exact same time. It's
That's
like walking that fine line, you know. It
That's
can be.
mad.
Yeah.
How did you make it like decent? Like what? Like obviously you said you like meeting people, talking to people and stuff. So that's what you love about it. But like how the fuck do you make sales? Like I find that mental because I just close the door on those people in a nice way.
Yeah.
But like I don't want to engage.
Like, what was your strategy?
It's an
Yeah.
art
Yeah.
form. Like there's a skill to it, and it's a teachable skill.
Okay.
So one of my favorite things.
Teach us, please.
Teach me the way. Sell me this pen.
Yeah,
So yeah, there's like the basics. You're given a pitch, right? And so the pitch is just bog standard, right? But the pitch would be like, the chords in a guitar.
Yeah.
You can give someone the chords, but it doesn't mean that they can sing a song.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know? And so like you're listening to people and you're paying attention to what they're paying attention to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like you've got like multiple different like possibilities, different avenues.
Yeah.
Now this person, you'll be talking to you, this person doesn't want to be direct. They don't want to talk about bills. This person wants to meander down through the hills about la-di-da-di-da, make a connection, and then we'll talk about, so what are you actually doing here, by the way?
That's why you're good at that, man.
Yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
so, when you explain that, that's why you'd be
It's just a
vested.
style, it's my
Yeah.
particular style of
That's funny.
of sales, yeah.
Because they're the ones you do, like, if I answer the door and there's a guy, like, who's like you, who's smiling and just, like, I would never, but, like, there's often where you just feel, like, you don't feel bothered then. You're, like, you came with a smile, like, I don't know.
Like,
So
I'm
maybe
here for my
you'd be-
job. I'm supposed to be
Yeah.
here. Like, let's have at it. Let's go.
Yeah.
And
Let's
any kind of
discuss.
bizarre incidents at the door or anything strange happen?
Ooh, one or two. Yeah, there was a few. Like one of the funnier ones was a knock on the door, and this lad opens the door with an iron bar
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
in his hand. Prepay power.
Yeah.
And he just goes, "Come in."
No way. What?
Oh no.
So he went in anyway. For better or worse, I got to say it anyway, but he ended up being just sound.
No way.
Like, he was just a sound lad.
Why did he
Like,
have
he
the
was
iron
just walking
bar?
around the house with a bar. Like,
Did he explain
Yeah.
it to you or did you ask?
no, I didn't ask either. Like, I just got there. I just sat down.
In
at the
case you
table.
reminded him where he was carrying it.
Did he put it down? Like, he put it down once he went
I'm
in.
pretty sure he put it down
Yeah.
at some point. Yeah.
Just sitting there.
But that was
What
one
are you-
of the ones that stand out. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck was that? Like,
So would you get invited in much, like? In
Yeah. Cup
That's
of tea, like,
mad.
I mean, everyone.
A
like,
cup of tea, really?
Yeah, Jesus, man. Jesus, down there now. Do you want a cup of tea? Do you want to use the bathroom, man? People are sound.
Wow.
That would be the difficult thing, like because, yeah, like if people don't invite you in, where do you pee?
Where do you pee? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that would be my worry.
Against their door for not buying the
Yeah, on their fucking step.
Yeah. That's,
Is that what happened?
You slammed the door in my face,
Like
motherfucker.
pissed on your door.
yeah. That's mad. And did you ever find it, like, would you go in there, would it just be one person? Would there be a big family in there and you're drinking tea with random
All sorts,
families?
man. Honestly, man.
Watching
There's
Father
so
Ted.
many times that I sat down with a family within 10 seconds and started watching telly.
No way.
There's so many-
That's so
Man,
mad.
people are sound like, because like you have a badge, and there's like a certain level of like,
Yeah.
you know, like what is it like? You know, it's just like this is just normal as like this happens. Like, and especially in a lot of the areas where you'd be working, like it's common to see a door-to-door salesman. Like it's
Yeah.
it's
Okay,
very common,
yeah.
So anyway, to bring us back to where we were going with the flow arts, the reason the reason let's flow into it. The reason I got
Good
into
lead
it
in.
was
You're good at
because
this.
like when you're knocking doors, there were some days that you'd get into that state of mind that you were just like, you know, there's nothing stopping you, man. You know, you're just saying all the right things. You know, you're just like, boom, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, boom, 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 no bother. Sales are just flying in the door. And then there was other days that no matter what you did, no matter what you tried, no matter what like strategic, you know, avenue you took, you couldn't make the magic happen. You know, it was just so tough. You know, and so it was that flow state. It was that, you know, it wasn't so hard. It wasn't so difficult. I was vibing with my guys, with my customers. I was just having fun. And I was trying to like, because I was working on commission.
Yeah.
So I was working, you know, like for 3 years I was working on commission, you know. So like, and it's performance based. So like as you do, like however good you are is how much money you're bringing home.
That's
you know?
mad.
But honestly, the money was so good. Like it was €75 a sale, you know.
No way.
So for like in a day you could make 2 or 3 sales, you know, and you're good. Like you're fine.
Was that like an average you'd make in a day? Like
No, like there on a good day you could make 4 or 5, and then you could go 2 days because, you know, it's that whole psychological factor of I've already had 3 sales.
Yeah.
You know, I'm grand, you know, just no worries. And then the week catches up to you and you're like, let's go.
And it's mad. It's funny you say performance, because it does remind me of like, just say like the podcast or say a band, their like show and what they provide for the people watching depends on them being in a good mood that day, waking up feeling good. Like, and that's kind of like that with that, like, because if you like, you know, for you in a good day, probably like did it correlate with you feeling good? Like,
yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
there's also those barriers that people set for themselves. So like, you know, say for example you made 3 or 4 sales in a day.
Yeah.
Psychologically you go, I couldn't keep that up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's just like, wow, that's too much. Like, and then you go into that sort of slightly nervous, hesitant state, and then you can't make sales for a couple of days, and then something clicks back in because you're like, oh, now I can do this again.
It's like the hunger, you know. You feel the hunger. You feel like the natural, like
that's mad.
The pull towards you, like, okay, now it's time to really.
It's like,
and the more you're here, the
like,
more,
you know, like your daily tasks of life just fall away, and you're in the state, you know. It's time to go now. You know?
There's all of those things, like, you know, in business and stuff. Like, there's people that have like gone into sales and they've gone into really difficult areas because they're brand new and stuff, and they've made, say, for example, like, you know, $3,000 in a month, and then they've switched them because they seem to be pretty good to a really easy area where there's big money, and they still only make $3,000 a month because they have that mindset of just like, I can't go over $3,000 kind of. So you start to panic. And it's like, if you break that down, then, you know, it's like anything. But people kind of get the fear then when they're approaching what they see as like a high level or their limit.
That's what it comes down to. Like, it's like your boundaries or whatever you set for yourself, or your comfort zone.
Or what you perceive yourself as, like, isn't it?
And like, if you were told that like most people don't make more than 3 or 4 sales in a day, then you would hit that and go, whoa, I'm at my limit.
And if you're told nothing, you might go and make 10 sales.
Exactly.
You know?
And you think that's right.
It's all like you set the bar, and then the bar is that's
it's your own limitations. Like,
so you notice like the different states of flow or not within that, and that 100%. Then took you towards
to the flow arts, direct to the source.
So what exactly is the flow arts?
So
like,
flow arts would be, it's a huge rabbit hole, you could say. So what I chose for myself, it's based, it can be anything, you know, like sales, it can be anything. Like it's a flow state.
It's like the art of flow itself.
But specifically the flow arts would be object manipulation. So when you'd get like a set of like variables, say like poi, which is like a thing on a string, and then you get 2 of them. And then you learn how to manipulate these into geometric patterns and different things. It's kind of like, it was actually invented by the Maoris.
The Maoris, New Zealand.
They invented it to keep their warriors fit when they weren't in combat.
Oh wow!
It was like a method of, like, you know, keeping everything like just awareness and everything straight.
It keeps you mentally and physically sharp.
It does, because it's just a point of focus. It's so like I said, direct to the source, because once you learn like 2 or 3 different like tricks, you know, or movements, then you start to join them all together.
The multiplicity of like all of them, and
These complex movements, they become simple all of a sudden, and then you're just you know, you're just going, man. And there were so many days I was gone for hours, you know. I just get the poi, and it was so therapeutic as well. Like it is, it's one of those things.
It's like Tai Chi, isn't it? Like you learn all the individual movements, and then you string everything together, and you're just in flow, and you kind of get to the end, you go, oh, I don't remember like doing that sequence, like but it flowed.
Yeah. You know, it's 3 a.m. Oh shit.
No, I've literally I've done that. I've seen him doing it, and I'd be like, because he'd be drinking or whatever, and I'd be like, right, like, and you wouldn't even reply because you're just in it. Like you're not there, like you're there. You know, like
man, like
mad.
I used to love it, like, you know, because you think to yourself, like, why do I love this so much? You know, like what is it about this that is so special?
Yeah.
And one of the ways that I like thought about it was, you know, when you're changing, like you know, something's like it's point in time, whatever. Like when you're giving something energy and it's literally like attached to you, like you know they say become the ball or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you literally like you're expanding your awareness into a different thing. Literally, you know, you're literally putting everything, your full self into this other thing, you know.
Becomes your attachments, your arms.
Yeah, man.
Your arms.
You know, and that's really valuable, man.
That's
like,
mad.
just to get outside your head.
That's like when, like, with kind of health and wellness work that I do, and like trying to get across to people about like breathing exercises. And it's like, I always say to people, it sounds really weird, but you have to be in the breath. Like you have to be the breath. You're not just breathing, but you must be in the breath.
Yeah.
And it is like you sort of feel like your whole body flowing and pulsating with that. And that's the difference. You know, you're not just someone sitting there breathing in a detached way.
That's where you really feel the power in that. Like, because I noticed, like, there's times where, like, even you saying that now will remind me to breathe like that. Whereas normally when you tell people breathe, they're breathing as if their lungs are a separate sort of part of them or something like that. But you're really just breathing
Every
as a
cell
whole.
breathes.
You can
Like,
feel it from your feet up. You can feel the oxygen suction even from
Yeah,
the blood. And it's mad. It's really interesting.
Super interesting.
Yeah. And so, like, so then that was how, but I'm still confused, like, so what was was there a direct moment, like, how did you, like, do you know how did you know, though, to put what you learned, how did you know you could take what you learned from, you know, knocking doors to, like, straight to firefight, do you know what I mean?
It was actually the other way around. It was what could I bring from flow arts to the doors.
Okay, I thought you were, right.
It was because
that's really cool. Like,
because you know, I was working on commission. You know, got to make some money.
I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna learn this flow art in particular, just to engage that mental state easier and how to bring it to the forefront of my mind in a much easier way. And then I ended up like becoming a performer.
That's class.
just completely meandering down that road altogether.
And did you notice a difference when you started applying that to your door-to-door stuff?
I kind of did, because funnily enough, I was like, by the time I was a reasonably skilled performer, I was performing, you know, I was actually done with the doors. I was like, I've learned, not that I learned what I could, like, you know, but I was done. I was like, I've done this for so long.
Yeah.
I've actually found something I really enjoy, you know, so
yeah.
I'm gonna stick to that.
You quit the doors after Jim Morrison left. You were like, no more doors for me either. Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah. Hey, me and Ross survived on nothing but oysters there for a few days.
Oh man,
it's very weird.
Oh bro, that was one of the
What, actual
greatest
oysters?
adventures.
Yeah, I didn't eat ducks. I'd rather starve.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't imagine.
you not eat?
would ever
No,
eat
I
an
didn't.
oyster.
I was literally starving. Like, I was just like, we didn't have food. We were in the middle of nowhere in Sligo.
We had a little bit. We had like a pot of rice and the go full of oysters.
Yeah.
Rice and oysters.
So this is what happened. This is what.
Fancy.
So what happened was we were at like an Oyster Bay, and we were camping in this little forest. There was 4 of us in this forest in Sligo, and we got dropped out there by car and all day. It was, I don't even know how we all ended up there. Just we went from a party here in Turles.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, because
Why not?
Because I it was the New Year's Eve. There was a party here in Turles, and I said, in this year, 2017, whatever, I'm going to say yes to everything. And then I swear to God, about an hour later, I don't know, was it you or
Bad
Aaron
idea,
or someone was like, let's go to Sligo. And I was like, oh, I don't want to go. But after promising that to myself in my head, and I was like, yeah, okay. And then, but we went and it was mad. And yeah, so we were at an Oyster Bay where it's an oyster farm in the sea. And we were camping there, and I don't know, you and Kuhn went for a walk, and they just came back with this actual metal sack of oysters. It was metal, and I don't know how the oysters got into it, because we couldn't open it. Like, and it was it was bizarre, and lads, like, we all spent like about an hour trying to open it, and then they were just fucking drinking off oysters.
Drinking oysters.
It was fucking mental.
That trip was that was like a 9-day adventure, man.
Yeah, it was
We
weird.
started off here in New Year's, and then we went like all across the country. Like we went from Sligo. Did you come down to Galway with us? Did you come down to Galway afterwards?
Because we threw the sack of oysters into the bus, and when we opened up the
a few of them.
yeah, well, there was a bag, a big bag. No, not the sack. Sorry, but he like threw like a Lidl bag, a load of them in there, and threw them in the back. 'Cause you on the bus where you lift it up. And then when we got off the bus in Galway, opened up the thing, and the oysters were like everywhere. Like, and I was like, oh shit, man. We just walked away. Like,
It was disgusting. No,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Kuhn brought them and he put them into his roommate's fridge.
oh yeah, he brought
His fridge,
picked them
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, the oysters are pretty nasty, but they were.
Did you
they
ever
were
have
really
oysters?
tasty, though.
did.
No.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
No way. What are they like? They're very like
No,
It's like
they're
swallowing
little
snot, it looked
mollusky, like
Yeah.
or something.
like salty snot.
They're actually
salty
they're,
snot.
they're actually not bad. They're actually not bad. I don't eat fish anymore.
Yeah, I don't eat
I love
animals.
that kind of thing.
That's mad.
Salty snot things.
Salty snot. Yeah.
And you to
And you
think
eat rice.
to
and you-
think you wouldn't eat my tofu earlier.
I would. I
Tofu.
would lick it and you
Yeah,
wouldn't
but it's
let
not
me.
eating it. But you swallow
I would-
oysters.
I want-
That wasn't earlier. That
I
was
wanted to
Friday.
lick
That's
it.
coming.
Dug yourself a hole there, my friend.
Could I lick her dinner? And she said no.
Are you vegetarian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't let me lick it.
She wouldn't let you lick it, man.
Are you
Oh, I
vegetarian?
do.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. You've always been. Yeah.
No, for like
Because you don't think you are when I met you, were you?
4 or
You were.
5 years.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Around that time, man. Around
That's
that
mad. Yeah.
It was
yeah.
the oysters that put you off, was it?
time. Probably.
Yeah.
Did you notice any difference with that for you?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I did actually.
Yeah.
Like,
What did you notice?
I lost a bit of puppy fat to begin with.
Okay.
Because I think that's very common when you become a vegetarian to.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I didn't do it all at once, but you're eating less shite, you know. You're eating.
Yeah.
You're eating. You have to cook a lot more.
It's so I haven't eaten. It's like even before I knew you, I hadn't eaten meat, and only like about 5 months ago, I kept having dreams eating chicken. And it was like, so I had chicken like, and because I felt like my body needed it at the time, and it did. But then I'm stopping it again though. I have stopped it again because I started noticing straight away how much. So I did think when I ate it again, it was really good. Like, because I was getting like my energy was going down or whatever. So I don't know why. I just listened to my body anyway. I felt like I needed it at the time,
Yeah.
so I ate it for a while. But then I got back into the habit, which was the thing that was hard for me. It was so easy to go to the deli and buy, you know, shitty. So I don't think think meat can be good, but I just thought like a lot of that stuff is so much fat and oil, and I was back to eating that again, and I started noticing it in my
Well,
body, my skin,
what
my
it
hair,
is.
my face, everything. Like, so I'm back like trying to, back not eating meat again, because yeah, it's mad how you got,
See, you touched on like the very important fact of what the deli food is that it's protein and fat.
yeah,
And really inflammatory fat as well.
yeah.
Like high omega-6 fats and stuff like that.
Because the protein is
fat
good in
nonetheless.
it. So like if you get good meat in the butchers or whatever, like that's. But then you're getting into the thing where it's like, well, if I was going to do that and cook it anyway, for me, like that's as much. That'll take as much effort as me just cooking food without it, like, because it is like you have to really cook and be mindful of it. And
It's fucking expensive as well, it looks like. Like,
Yeah.
if you're getting, like, good quality organic meat
it
and
is
stuff.
expensive. That is the funny thing about it. Like,
But like, I mean, it's your food at the end of the day.
yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Me and you just each other the eye there.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
That's what that.
Fucking hungry.
like, there's something. Did you ever hear Sadhguru before?
Yeah.
Who?
Sadhguru.
I don't know.
Sadhguru is like this, like Indian guru of some description, and he said something really interesting once.
Sad.
I think so.
A little hug.
Yeah. Sad guru.
No, he said that what you eat inevitably has to become you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
in,
it does become
in a
you.
very literal sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
your body
Yeah.
has to absorb it, and
Yeah.
and it just has to go through you. So, like,
Yeah.
your
I think
food
it's
is
like-
important.
It's such a mark of respect for your body and everything like that. Like, it's a kind of like way of honoring yourself and your
how-
existence. And I think it's so important. Like,
You
if
get a lot
I
more.
eat shit, I feel like you've done a mean thing to myself.
But
Yeah.
is that?
You
Let me
know?
ask you: is that a psychological guilt? We'll say, or
No,
or
like I
is it?
feel horrible. Like, and I like, yeah, you can see it in your skin, and just like, I don't know, like there's
Well, I think
something
there's
so
a
enriching
balance.
about eating colors and like. Just,
What
natural stuff.
I know what you're saying.
I'm on your
but
side. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What is it?
My only thing with that, though,
what you assign to be lower tier food and what you consider to be tier food, you know?
Because my only thing with that is like I do agree with what you're saying, but then if we just say, you know, my belief is we have a mind, body and soul, right? So if I'm respecting my body and I love my body, I'm going to eat nothing but like for me and my body, and it's just my body, what's good for my body, which is like vegetarian food, like vegetables, curries, pastas, shit like that. But I realized that I can't not have pizza once a week because pizza is healthy for my soul.
Yeah, man.
And that's like how it is. Like it's like, so it actually feels like it makes me feel good on the inside. But if I eat too much, it feels bad. But if I have it once, like I swear to God, it makes me feel better. And it's not in this. So there's times where I might eat it and I'm sad, and then I know I'm eating it in a sort of replacing way.
Yeah.
But then when I'm happy and everything's okay and it's Saturday and I haven't eaten it all week, that's when it's really, and I haven't eaten anything bad at all. I've eaten good all week. Then that pizza is like, I feel like it's actually healthy for me.
Like genuinely, like a really amazing raw food salad with really good dressing makes my soul sing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Exactly.
I
wish that would be cool.
When
Yeah,
I do that.
And that's the thing. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
I didn't eat in 24 hours during the week because it just one thing happened and then another thing happened or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Indian and bought an Indian chicken korma thing, and I felt fucking great.
That's class. Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
That's nice.
Best korma you ever had, was it?
Sweet Jesus.
Yeah.
That's class.
You have no idea how good that tastes.
Yeah.
Did you have it inside? Did you sit in there?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Did you wolf it in the car with steam going up the windows and everything like that?
Yeah, sweating.
Yeah, I'll be
Sweating
in a
in there.
minute.
Yeah, sweating. Having a bite. Yeah. Yeah, but I do know what you're saying though at the same time. There are times though when I'm actually eating shit because I feel shit, like, and then I'm like, which is a bad thing.
It's almost like a self-abuse thing. Like
yeah, it is like that. I do that. I'm full, like, I definitely do that as well. Like, and that's why I'm trying to not kid myself, tell myself that, oh, I need to eat fun sometimes, because I was doing that, but now I've become very aware when I'm eating to replace the void in my soul or if I'm eating because I feel like it's good for my soul. Do you know what I mean? There's like, you do it like, I don't know.
It's a balancing act, really.
Yeah.
That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
Making informed decisions.
Yeah, exactly. And being aware at the moment, because everyone's different. And like even when I stopped eating meat, I never thought meat was bad. I just felt like it was the right thing to do for my body.
I mean, meat's the reason we have civilization here to this day. You know?
And still, if you took it away tomorrow, society would collapse. Like, it would. Like, that's... Yeah. And I know that's hard.
Maybe
there would need to be a structure and system. So I know there's a lot of like hardcore vegans would be angry at that.
But like, serious undertaking.
No, but yeah, you need to have a system in place because so many people are reliant on it. Like, it's sort of like this. So even if hypothetically meat was bad, which I don't think it is, but to say it was all horrible and we got it wrong since the start. I had a friend who was drinking so much Coke and Fanta and he and stuff like that. He was told by the doctor that he should be careful not to stop all of a sudden, that he should wind down off it. So like tomorrow, really? If everyone, sugar, so, and like that he should come off it, but like in a process, like if you stop tomorrow, like that's how bad and much he was. Which makes sense because I mean people say that with all sorts of.
You do like when you detox, like if you've been eating shit for a bit, like for the first sort of 48, 72 hours, you feel like hell. Yeah.
So it's all well and good for everyone who's vegan to say everyone should go vegan tomorrow, but like you have to be realistic about it. Like even if that was a good thing for our society, like. It's not easy for people to just change their habits and that. So I don't think people should have to anyway. It's
unrealistic. Like how many people that eat meat don't know how to cook?
Yeah. Like how many people who don't have the time to need that deli food in the meat counter because they're busy and shit.
Well, like you inevitably make time because you need to eat. You know.
Yeah,
it's true. I do. I am trying to get better at that as well. Yeah, that is true. I do agree with that.
One of the important things, though, I will say to anyone who wants who's curious about vegetarianism is that if you don't eat enough fat, I think personally for me, I think fat is so
massive.
It's so important, like, and it's so easily overlooked as well because you get your rice and you get your your chickpeas or whatever, you get your beans or whatever.
No,
like I don't know if like I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just putting it out there. But like I put olive oil just to make sure that I get.
It's so important for like the structural integrity of your body, like skin and things like that. Yeah. And it's so important even for like your backup fuel. Like for your brain, like your brain loves fat. You know, it can live off fat really well.
Like when I'm training, right, I have a lot of olive oil because it's that long, low and sustained energy.
Avocados, olive oil, and nuts. Like particularly walnuts, you know, the omega-3.
Pizza has a shitload of fat.
That's the cheese, man. That's the cheese.
Cheese. Yeah, I know. But it's funny though. That was my thing of fat, like, because I wouldn't be getting any fat really in anything, because there's just a lot of stuff I just don't like, avocados and stuff. So all the stuff that did have fat in it for vegetarians couldn't eat, but I'd get my fat in with a pizza once a week, and I do think that was like part. That's like
once
part
a week,
of it.
man. That's not man. You need so much fat. Like
I eat the whole yo.
Because the thing about eating meat is that there's a lot of fat in meat. There's a lot, you know. Just base level meat, and that's actually one of the reasons I would say is that when people stop eating meat is that they don't realize how much fat they were eating before.
People's skin often gets really bad, like really dry and flaky, and like poor kind of skin integrity and elasticity and stuff. Like you can see
what
it.
you're
really
really saying is they should continue to eat meat, is basically.
No, I'm just saying. Look, tell an Eskimo to stop eating fish.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, like
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it is. Like, you know, an Eskimo can't survive without fish.
Exactly.
What's he gonna live on? Snow.
It goes back to that, like it is all about balance and flow, isn't it? Like it's
about what works for you as an individual.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah. What was there was something else I wanted.
We wanted to talk about joining the guards when you
joining the Garda.
We'll finish up on
one
that.
Garda and two
Garda.
So
Ross is an undercover guard.
Yeah, how long do you remember the course?
I've been scoping you all out this entire time. You're on my watch list anyway.
What did he do?
You're number one.
Can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it.
Did you see my name on Pulse?
No, I didn't see it on Pulse. I saw way worse on Pulse, man.
Is Pulse good for checking up on the neighbours?
Ross is the most dedicated
I've never actually heard of
undercover guard I've ever met.
Man, that's it.
Yeah. He's the most dedicated undercover guard we've ever had in the show.
This is really going to freak people out. There'll be people watching this getting like, oh.
Well, no, if you see Ross at a festival, you should be worried. He's an undercover guard.
What are you on about?
Yeah.
He's one of. Are you one of those that like took it too far? That got like too absorbed in the role, and just now you're just like on a tangent.
Do you ever hear the stories with undercover guards at festivals?
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention names now, but apparently a few mates of mine tied an undercover guard.
So what did they do?
They tied up an undercover guard because this guard just, like he comes in, you know, all acting all sly and stuff. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna make friends with these boys. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Boys ended up tying him in the tent.
Yeah, there's some march that happens at festivals.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
There was at one festival, there was the
was
guards.
That you? Was that you that they tied up in the tent? No.
Yeah, different. Was it one of your colleagues? But the guards, like you'll see like spray paint on random tents at any festival, like you'll just see undercover, like because they will just
really did they actually do that?
Oh yeah, do you ever Life Festival? There was this big day, but it was kind of obvious. They set up a gazebo. No one has gazebo. No one, like, do you know what I mean? No one brings gazebos. Like, and if you do, you're a guard in the middle of everyone.
It's like seeing a D1 reg car. In the countryside, like a fresh D1 Ford Focus. I wonder.
But I don't know. I respect the hustle. Some of them are creative.
No man, like I do. Look, I don't know. Like I respect the guards, man.
Yeah.
You have to. It's your job.
Yeah, you get kicked off the force.
They have a tough job, man.
Yeah, for sure, man.
One day, right, and I shit you not, right, I was playing a game. I was playing a game on my PlayStation. I didn't have pants on, nothing. I was just chilled out to the max, man. Right? And I hear a knock on the door, and there's a guard at my door with the baton over his shoulder and a pepper spray in one hand, ready. And he says, okay.
Did you rob that car in GTA? You were playing that.
He said, there's a fugitive on the loose that we've been chasing from Offaly. He's after running over two guards, and he's after wrecking like 4 squad cars.
Jesus.
Do you mind if I check your guard?
No.
I was like, yeah, man, no bother, man. Jesus Christ, like, let's go.
Did you tell him that he took your pants? The guy came in and took your pants and like.
I should have said that. Right? I should have said that. Yeah, but man, like they deal with like dangerous situations, man.
Yeah,
like definitely. Say what you want, like, and everybody can be seedy, you know. Guards can be bad too. They can be.
But it's the same in all ways of life. That's the problem. Exactly, like you're talking about everything that's good and bad. It just is what it is. Just people just need to accept that. Like, yeah, I don't know. We finish up now, and.
So.
Yeah, is there anything? It's down for coming down.
I'm going back to the station. I'll file my report. It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, come here. Will you wipe that thing for a friend of mine? His name's Hugh. Will you just kind of there's a bin. Do you know the way when you're Garda station, you go into your office? There's a bin in the left.
Yeah.
a printer and just print it.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can
do.
do.
Things
He's
for
under
you there.
treatment. We're working with him to resolve his
Leave it with
issues
me.
in a medical capacity.
Yeah, they weren't his penny sweets.
Yeah.
They weren't his penny sweets. Yeah, thanks a million for coming on.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, and
really fun.
you'll fucking. You'll get that, like I can definitely see you having a career in that as well because of that flow thing and your ability to flow through life and I don't know
To be a Viking.
Yeah, to be a Viking.
I can see you as chief super by the end of the year.
Chief superintendent.
Yeah.
You just have to start resting get those numbers up, man. You'll be hired.
Well, I've got the skills.
Yeah, knocking door to door.
Thanks,
thanks a million for coming on, man. And it's good to see you
Thanks
again.
for having me.
And I'm sure when I stop recording, I can see you again then.
Yeah, we'll see you then, yeah.
When I turn on.
And we'll start all over again.
Yeah. Right, thanks to everyone for watching on YouTube and listening on Spotify. Hit the subscribe button if you want. If you don't want to, that's okay. Do whatever you want in life. Just don't hurt anyone. And if you want to donate, you can press the donation button in the link in the description. Owen is hungry. He needs a sandwich. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
That's
taste of strawberry medicine as it runs down my neck. I feel it draw me in, and when it settles on my mind, just know you'll find me there inside.